Good afternoon.
Or good afternoon. Sorry, I've been nonstop this morning.
I
I
hear
didn't
you.
know if Greenwich was on the same time zone as the rest of the state. Southwest Connecticut.
Southwestern, as I finally learned. I always thought of it as South, period. It's not even Southwestern, it's Western. Technically, I guess we're Southwestern, but I think you go all the way up into Bedford. You're probably in Stamford for the real
Representative, we're
Southwest.
live.
Okay.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Carrie Wood. I'd like to convene the Insurance and Real Estate Committee meeting for Thursday, February 24th. Before we begin, I want to see if there's any discussion from my co-chair and ranking members.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair, and it's great to be back. This is the first and only scheduled meeting of the Insurance and Real Estate Committee to raise concepts. And, Madam Chair, as you know, and as I think the members know, many of the bills before us are just that. They're concepts. They represent ideas from all four caucuses. There are certainly a lot of ideas here, but through the screening process, through the iterative process, we have not been able to raise every single idea we've heard from members, although we have tried to combine concepts where available. And I just want to thank the members of the committee for coming to each of the caucuses with ideas. And I'm hopeful we can, despite the short session, get a lot of important work done. So I just want to thank you and the rankings and all the members of the committee for their participation with all of us in terms of moving what is a pretty hefty load in a short session. And hopefully we can get some important work done.
Thank you, Senator Lesser. Any other comments?
Unless Senator Long wants to go, I don't know if he's on. I don't see him yet, but I just wanted to thank everybody for, again, the work we've already done, the very fun and interesting screening meetings that we've had. And I am looking forward to this session. I think we always do work well together and come up with some great legislation. And we have a couple fixes to make, and otherwise, I will see everybody soon. So at the next one that we have, next screening and next meeting. So thank you again.
Thank you, Senator Wong.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I was trying to get into the flow of the Zoom with raising hands, but it's good to see everyone, at least via Zoom. I do want to, before we start, acknowledge the efforts of LCO, OLR, and the committee staff. I know you'll acknowledge them, but I know they work so hard to help us and make us more efficient. And really want to thank the committee members. It's interesting. Since your leadership, we've really kind of added the fact that this is the Insurance and Real Estate Committee. And I think we've raised some bills as it relates to real estate, equally important to the insurance. And as we're raising concepts today, I know Chairman Lesser mentioned it, but my usual disclaimer that, when we vote today to raise concepts for public hearing, a yes and no vote doesn't really reflect the ultimate decision of everybody that's casting the vote. And so I want to reserve that our committee vote will reflect after public hearing from the shareholders and the experts to an ultimate yes or no. And this vote to raise a concept does not reflect that. So again, I want to thank both the chairs, Lesser and Wood, along with my fellow ranking Representative Pavlock D'Amato. I'm really eager to get back to work. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Okay, let's move on to item number 3 on the agenda, which is introduction of staff. I want to introduce our new clerk, Alex Putofsky, and his assistant clerk, Danil Toropov. Thank you for your work on the committee. I also want to introduce from LCO, Connor Hurdick and Patrick Deegan. I want to introduce from OLR, Alex Rieger and Janet Kaminsky-Leduc. From OFA, Michelle Parlos. From House Democrat Policy, Chris Calabrese. From Senate Democrat Policy, Brett Kupfer. From House Republican Policy, Brian Wersler. From Senate Republican Policy, Avery Gaddis. and from Senate Republican Policy, John Healy. Thanks, everyone, for your work. We look forward to working with you this session. Moving on to concepts to be raised. I'd like to make a motion to raise concepts 4 through 16, 20, 28, 30 through 37, and 39 on consent. Do I have a motion?
Moved.
So move, Representative Dathan.
Second.
Motion from Representative Dathan, second from Representative Pavlock D'Amato. Any discussion?
Us raising our hands.
Representative Pavlock D'Amato?
I would just like to reiterate that what Senator Wong said, that these bills that we're voting on doesn't necessarily mean that you endorse them, that you agree with them, but it really is to have the conversation and to hear all sides of the issue. And I do think that's important. I did mention to Representative Wood that some of the others that we will be going through, it was a matter more so of a couple questions that we had, and then just a general we didn't actually have some of the language and weren't sure what those bills were. So those were pulled out. But again, voting yes does not mean endorsement, just means having the conversation. So thank you again.
Any other discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Abstain? Okay, the motion carries. So let's go through. I'd like to make a motion to raise concepts 1 through 3.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Senator Lesser, second by Representative Rochelle. Any discussion?
Yes, Madam Chair, these are dummy bills, and they reflect titles that have been raised traditionally in this committee year after year, and comport with the traditions of this committee. There's no content at this point for the bills, but they do give us flexibility for legislation down the road.
Thank you, Representative Pavlock D'Amato.
I know a lot of people don't support dummy bills. I think in the beginning, when I first started at the legislature, I did not as well. But I have found that throughout the last few years and sessions that we do end up needing these dummy bills, bills with no content per se, to really get through some of the concepts that are really important to not only this committee, but the people of the state of Connecticut. So although I am reluctant without language, I will be supporting these bills today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Meskers.
Yeah, I just wanted to state for the record, after a long career in finance where I thought I knew what I was doing, it's the complexity of the insurance industry, the moving parts, the impact of our decisions on ratepayers and premiums, and the impact it has on an industry, which is one of the key industries in our state, concerns me. So last session, we passed a bill and we were going to amend it, and it's not on the fault of the bill, but on an IRS ruling that came out, I think after our session was over. So I think keeping the window open for potential movements is important, but those bills be relatively submitted in a relatively early time frame would be my request, so that we can study the implications, the impact, the effect. So I guardedly would be in support of those bills, those placeholders, but I would hope that I wouldn't see them in the last 24 or 48 hours of the session, because it's a very complicated period in which to rule. So that would be my humble request. But on the basis of the comity of the group, I will support the bills, but I would make my note that I would love to see them with enough time to be able to study the impact.
Thank you. Representative Nuccio?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think we're going to start this season off with me and Meskers agreeing again. I agree with what Representative Meskers just said. I'm not so much opposed to the concept of dummy bills, although I don't like their name. I'm more, I think, like having 3 of them is a little concerning to me because I feel like, as he just said, when we utilize them really late in the game, we pass fast legislation, which is always bad legislation. So it doesn't give us the time to really kind of understand what we're putting in there. I'll vote to support these. In the future, I understand that it's a tradition of the committee to have these, but I would request that we don't have 3, so many, and make sure that, as Representative Mesker said, that we are fully vetting anything that we are using these placeholder bills for. Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? All those in favor for placing 1 through 3, for raising 1 through 3, signify by saying aye.
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 Need the help. We closed down.
Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Next, we will go down to numbers 17 through 19. Can I make a motion to raise 17, 18, and 19?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
And that
Moved
is
by Senator
also
Lester,
a
seconded by
space
Senator
that is
Anwar.
really, left.
Can you just repeat what you said? I couldn't hear anything.
17 through 19 are on the table with a motion and a second. Any discussion? Yes, Representative Pavlik Tomato.
Madam Chair, if you could just go through, explain, or give a brief explanation for each of those as they stand.
Number 17 is requiring the insurance commissioner to consider affordability. It is a proposal that came up last year in SB 204, and the motion is to hear this proposal again. Number 18 is to prohibit facility fees to be part of a telehealth fee. In hospitals, they are charging a fee for the facility as well as a telehealth, so we would be hearing that concept as well. And number 19 is regarding site mutual payments. We heard this in 2021. It was SB 1048, and this would eliminate the site of differential payments between a hospital and an outpatient clinic. A bill that we have heard in this committee prior.
Okay, so I'd like to make a motion to divide the question, only because I know I have members that may vote for 1 or 2 of those, but not the others.
Okay, so we'll take the current motion off the table.
Madam Chair, I would like to withdraw my motion.
Thank you, Senator Lesser.
Of the regulate DOC.
Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion to draft item number 17.
I'll second.
Motion made by, motion made for drafting or raising item number 17. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Abstain? Motion carries. Do we have a motion to raise number 18?
So moved.
Moved by Senator
Second.
Lesser,
Second.
second by Senator Anwar. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Do we have a motion to raise concept number 19?
So moved.
Second, Representative Dayton.
Any discussion? Representative Pavlik Tomato.
Yes. So this is number 19, is that correct?
That is correct.
And could you just go over one more time what that one is?
Sure. Can I ask Senator Lesser to give a better explanation? He has a little bit more experience on this bill than I do.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I believe this bill is similar to a bill heard last year, which refers to site-neutral payments for certain procedures, specifically infusions and at hospital and non-hospital settings.
Thank you, Senator Lesser. Representative Nuccio.
Oh,
Sorry, is Representative Pavlik-Tomato, you're still
Yeah.
on?
Well, first, I would just ask that, well, let me ask if I may, either through you, Madam Chair, is this a similar bill that's been put in the past? for you?
Yes, it is a similar bill. The bill reference number is SB 204 from 2021.
Okay, and as far as you had mentioned, and it has to do with site neutrality, is that correct? Or Lesser?
Senator Lesser?
Yeah, Madam Chair. Yeah, no, I think the 204 was about the affordability and rate reviews. This is a bill that I was introduced about site neutral payments for certain infusion at hospital and non-hospital settings. It passed the Senate, I believe, with bipartisan support, and was not acted upon by the House before the CNADA deadline, and so did not pass the House. And so the attempt is to have another hearing about it this year, see if there's a consensus to move it forward.
Okay. I will be voting yes. I'm going to ask for a roll call vote on this one. I don't know how my members all of them want to vote on this, and so I'm just going to ask for a roll call vote. And again, they all might vote yes, but I just wanted to give them that chance, as I should have for the 17 as well, because I think some people had some questions about that one as well. It just went fast. So if you could do a roll call, Madam Chair, that would be appreciated. Thank you.
Sure, will do. Thank you. Representative Nuccio.
Thank you very much. So Representative Pavlik-Tomato just kind of referenced something that I was going to ask. 17, we didn't have an opportunity to discuss. So I don't know if there's a way for somebody to just maybe after the meeting or something to provide me more information, because I don't understand what that one is specifically. I know we already kind of passed it, so I don't know if that matters or not. But that one there, I don't understand what that one is doing. That was my only thing.
Sure, and that was my fault. I referenced the wrong. This is SB 204 from 2021.
204?
Yes.
And 17 is? SB
That is correct.
4. Okay, I'll go in and look it up then. Thank you.
Representative Meskers.
Yeah, I'm tempted to be a yes on the bill, but I want to understand the goal and intent of site neutrality. I'm hoping that this provides our insurance companies with tools to provide a baseline where the outpatient service pricing becomes the mandated pricing for inpatient service. I'm looking to overall lower the cost and to get the premiums down for people. I want to see improved coverage. I want to see transfusions done, God willing, where everyone needs them. But I want to see the compensation levels to be competitive. And I'd be concerned to allow the hospital system to set the transfusion fees for the industry, because I'm not convinced that we're getting a competitive industry on transfusions. You know, on the social concern and cleanliness, quality of service, I'm deeply in support of accessibility and fair pricing, but I'm loath to use neutral pricing if it's to raise the bar on pricing versus to lower the bar on pricing while we maintain quality. So I'll be looking in the bill for that. So my tentative approval is in the assumption that it's increasing access, lowering prices, not raising prices with the same access. That would be my concern.
Thank you, Rep. Meskers. Senator Lesser.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. I would just remind the representative and all the members of the committee that for this bill and all of the other bills that we're hearing, all we're doing is we're moving forward on having a public hearing. And so when language becomes available for the bills and you can hear from the proponents, you can have a colloquy with them at the public hearing, as well as outside of that format to sort of air out these concerns and flesh out, whether those are answered in the bill language or not. I don't know that this committee meeting is the best place for that discussion. I think the public hearing would be a wonderful place, and encourage you and on this bill and then all the other bills to have that discussion at that point. But thank you for your comments. I appreciate your concerns about the larger issue of healthcare reform.
Thank you, Senator. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
I think we're gonna do a roll call
Aye.
question.
Aye.
I'd ask for,
Aye.
I think
Oh,
there was
I'm
a
sorry. That was supposed to be a roll call vote. I apologize. Alex, could you take the roll, please?
Yes. Senator Lesser,
Aye.
Representative Wood,
Yes.
Senator Anwar,
Senator Anwar votes yes.
Representative Comey,
Representative Comey votes yes.
Senator Wong.
Senator Huang votes yes.
Sorry, can you say that one more time so I could see you on camera?
Sure. Senator Huang votes yes.
Representative Pavlak Tomato,
Pavlak Tomato votes yes.
Senator Cabrera, Senator Maroney, Representative Dathan,
Representative Dathan votes yes.
Representative Delnicki,
Representative Delnicki votes yes.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Representative Meskers,
Representative Meskers votes yes. Thanks, Alex.
Representative Nuccio,
Nice to actually see you, Alex. Representative Nuccio votes yes.
Representative Perillo, Representative Paletta, Representative Riley,
Representative Riley votes yes.
Representative Rochelle.
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 21, an act promoting competition and contracts between health carriers and healthcare providers. Is there a motion to raise item 21?
So moved.
Moved by Senator Lesser. Do we have a
Second by
second?
Representative Dathan.
Second by Representative Dathan. Any discussion? Representative Pavlak Tomato.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you explain what this bill is?
Sure. This language for this concept came out of some off-session working group and informational hearings that this committee has been having related to costs of healthcare. It is an anti-steering language. Again, this is just a concept to be raised, but it follows on the back of our committee diving into costs going into healthcare and health insurance. So it is a new concept to this committee and something that many on this committee have been working on in a bipartisan way.
Okay. I mean, so again, I want to have the discussion. I would ask for a roll call vote. I always get a little scared when, as in general, when, of course, government gets involved in contracts, only because, usually it doesn't end up, I'd say, the way that probably the legislation intended. So I do have hesitations. I will be supporting this so we can have the conversation. But again, I would ask for a roll call vote, Madam Chair. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
Okay, for agenda item number 21, Senator Lesser,
Senator Lesser, aye.
Representative Wood,
Wood is a yes.
Senator Anwar,
Senator Anwar votes yes.
Representative Comey,
Representative Comey votes yes.
Senator Wong,
Senator Tony Huang votes yes.
Representative Pavlak D'Amato,
Pavlak D'Amato votes yes.
Senator Cabrera, Senator Maroney, Representative Dathan,
Representative Dayton votes yes.
Representative Del Nicky,
Representative Del Nicky votes yes.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Representative Meskers,
Representative Mespers votes yes.
Representative Nuccio,
Representative Nuccio votes yes.
Representative Perillo, Representative Paletta, Representative Riley,
Representative Riley votes yes.
Representative Rochelle.
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
One more time, please, Representative.
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to item number 22, an act concerning catalytic converters. Do we have a motion to raise?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Senator Lesser, second by Representative Dathan. Any discussion? Representative Pavlak D'Amato.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't believe that we screened this bill. Could you give me a brief explanation of what the bill is? And we'll start with that.
Sure. This bill, the goal of this bill is to deter stolen vehicles, and what it allows is branding of car parts, in this case, a catalytic converter, and provide something like a warranty, which would then reduce your insurance premiums. So again, it's a concept bill, and the goal is to try to deter the stealing of, especially catalytic converters being sold on the black market.
And it is, and maybe, I don't know if you can answer this. Is this squarely under our committee, or would this, I guess I'm wondering how that fits under our committee exactly. I mean, you did mention insurance. I'm just not seeing the connection though.
It would, if you are warrantying these parts, your insurance premiums would in essence go down. So that part is under our committee. And yes, it would be something that we would have cognizance over.
Okay, all right. I have no objection, and of course we all know it's a huge problem in our state. So I will be supporting this. Thank you.
Any other discussion? Did you ask for, I'm sorry, I forgot, is this a roll call vote? Okay, we'll just do a voice vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Oppose, abstain. Okay, 22 carries, motion carries. Next, can we have a motion to raise an act concerning common interest ownership communities?
So moved.
Motion by Senator Lesser. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Representative Pavlak D'Amato. Any discussion? Representative Pavlak D'Amato.
Thank you, Madam Chair. It is, if you could give an explanation of this bill? I don't believe we've screened this bill either, so I'm not sure what it is even about. Thank you.
Sure. I am going to ask Senator Lesser to further explain this bill. Senator Lesser.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And through you, this is a concept to address some of the issues that arose. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with the tragic collapse of the a condo tower in Florida, and ensuring that Connecticut laws match those of our sister states in terms of ensuring that reserve requirements are met, that reserve studies are implemented to ensure that common interest ownership communities are taking steps to invest in critical and needed infrastructure. I've been in the legislature long enough to know that anytime there's a condo bill, there's a lot of public interest, but I think this is an important topic that we should address in our capacity as the real estate committee, not just the insurance committee. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Senator. Representative Pavlik-Tomato, any other questions on this?
No, and thank you for that explanation. And I think I will definitely support it and not ask for a roll call vote simply because it has to do with real estate and not with health insurance. So thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next, we will move on to an act concerning financial planners and the Connecticut Unfair Insurance Practices Act. We have a motion to raise item 24.
So moved.
Moved by Senator Lesser. Do we have a second?
Second, Representative Dathan.
Seconded by Representative Dathan. Any discussion? Representative Pavlik-Tomato.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Can you briefly explain this bill as well?
Sure. This bill is a consumer protection bill, which really says that financial planners have a fiduciary responsibility to their customer when dealing with insurance products. So this language does not currently exist in statute. It was heard, I believe, in 2020, and we would be again hearing something that was already heard in this committee, and that's really it. And if there's a violation, it would fall under the Connecticut Unfair Insurance Practices Act.
Okay, I'm interested in hearing more on not something I think we've ever discussed, at least since I've been on this committee. So I am looking forward to that explanation, and I won't be requesting a roll call vote either. Thank you.
Representative Nuccio.
Thank you, Madam Chair. You mentioned this was heard in 2020. Would you happen to know what the bill number was?
SB 343.
Hold on. SB 343?
Yes.
And that was in 2020, correct?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Next, we have an act concerning mental health parity. Do we have a motion to raise item 25?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Senator Lesser, seconded by Senator Anwar. Any discussion? Representative Pavlik-Tomato.
Thank you. Can you explain this bill, Madam Chair?
Yes, I would like to ask Senator Lesser to give an explanation. I think mine would not be as good as his.
Thank you. Mine may not either, Madam Chair, but I will do my best. So we had a hearing, as you recall, Representative, last year on compliance with the 2019 mental health parity law. And we are likely to have another one in April of this year when we get a second tranche of data. But we may have one sooner than that to get the status update from the insurance department, but we will get The newest tranche of data, I believe, honored before April 1st. The problem with the April 1st deadline is that is after our JF deadline as a committee. And so, anticipating, we had some real issues in terms of the quality of the data that the insurance department was receiving last year, but wanted to proceed cautiously because it was our first year of collecting the data. So we've asked the insurance department to work with the industry to get better quality data on non-quantitative restrictions on mental health parity, but we need a vehicle if reforms are needed based on the hearing that we'll likely receive in April. So, our intention is to work with all the members of the committee and certainly with the rankings on any possible legislation, but we felt like it would be helpful to have a vehicle for that conversation. I understand that the process is a little bit backwards here, and I just would say that it's our commitment to work with all of you to make sure that we have a robust discussion about this critical issue going forward.
Well, I thank you for that, and I thank you for that commitment. So I am looking forward to that. And technically then it would be a dummy bill, although I understand why it, of course, it has to be that way. So I will be supporting this concept. Thank you.
Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item, can I get a motion to raise an act concerning travel insurance?
So moved.
Moved by Senator Lesser,
Second.
seconded by Representative Farrar. Any discussion? Representative Pavlik D'Amato.
Thank you, Madam Chair. If you could explain this bill and if it is the same as the one we did last session. I know we did work on this extensively, so I think I was confused along with my colleagues as to why this is here. But of course, I don't always know what happens in the Senate, so that could be a reason why.
Yeah, I believe this is just updating the existing language with model language, but I'll let Senator Lesser explain further.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And yes, I've only served in the Senate for 4 years, and I don't always understand the Senate either. No, we did pass a bill last year restricting or requiring a travel insurance to cover death benefits in certain cases. This is a very different bill. It's a larger bill, and we heard this, I believe, in 2020. This is a model. I believe bill from NCOIL just about the regulation of travel insurance, and it's a national model bill, and we're hearing this to sort of come up with a broader regulatory framework for the industry. Through you.
Thank you, Senator. And I do remember that bill and that discussion, so I think I was wondering where that went. So I will be supporting this bill today. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Next item, can we raise an act concerning establishing the 340B Drug Pricing Non-Discrimination Act? Is there a
So
motion?
Second.
Motion by Senator Anwar, seconded by Senator Lesser. Any discussion? Representative Pavlik D'Amato.
Madam Chair, can you provide an explanation of this? I don't believe we screened this bill.
Yes, Senator Lesser.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. The 340B program is a federally required discount pharmaceutical program that is accessed by safety net hospitals, by federally qualified health centers, by federally funded family planning clinics, and it provides life-saving essential medications at discount prices to vulnerable individuals. In the past year and a half, a number of pharmaceutical companies have ceased or limited participation in the 340B program. This has provided a major stress on our federally qualified health centers. A number of states have taken action to try to compel a participation. Again, this is something that's already required by federal law. The initial intent had been for us to model legislation that was recently passed by the state of Arkansas. I believe we've also had some requests to look at some legislation that's now pending in some other states, given potential issues with the Arkansas legislation. But the idea is to sort of mirror on the state level a long-standing program that's existed for I think about 25 years on the federal level.
So why are we, what exactly are we doing then if it already is required on the federal level?
Well, it's required under federal law, but I think the penalties for noncompliance, through Madam Chair, are generally are increasingly seen as a cost of doing business by the industry, and so they've just opted to not comply with federal law. So even though federal law requires it, they're not. And so I will say, just as an example, and I think we'll hear this at the public hearing, this was a sort of an important piece of both our insulin law a few years ago, but also former President Trump's executive order on insulin. And we're hearing from folks on the grassroots level in places like New Haven that the recent actions by the pharmaceutical industry are limiting public access to low-cost insulin for extremely vulnerable groups, and that could have a serious impact on public health in the state. So, exactly what language we go forward with, I think will remains to be seen, but it's an important conversation. It's something that we're hearing is a pressing issue for access to needed medications.
So then are penalties, or have penalties been applied by the states thus far in those other situations?
I know that there's ongoing litigation in the state of Arkansas. I don't know if the state has actually tried to enforce the law, but the bigger issue is that HRSA, which is the federal agency that's tasked with enforcing the 340B program, they seem limited in their enforcement efforts, and so we would be looking to see if there are additional tools, additional ways that the state can partner with them to ensure compliance with this.
Okay, all right, thank you. I'm interested in learning more. This is the first I've heard of this per se, so I am. Would like to learn more, so I'd be happy to have the conversation. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. Last, we have item number 38. Is there a motion to raise and act concerning peer-to-peer car sharing programs?
So moved.
Moved by
Second.
Senator Lesser, seconded by Representative Farrar. Any discussion? Representative Pavlik Tomato.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I do want to get to 38, but I just wanted to. I don't believe 29 was on the consent calendar, so we may have to go back to that if you're raising it. I don't. So just to make you aware.
Thank you for that. We will go back to it.
Okay. But yeah, if you could just explain what the peer-to-peer, what this bill or concept is, and then what, how it relates to our committee.
Sure. This bill actually did not go through our committee. It went through transportation, and it should have gone through the insurance committee. It is kind of like an Airbnb for cars. So if you are using your car on a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and you want to join a platform that allows you to lease your car to someone else on Tuesday or Thursday, it's making sure that both the driver and the owner are properly insured. So it's a consumer protection bill. It did already pass, and it is just tweaking the language a little bit. But it is something that is gaining traction, especially for people that live in areas where they have mass transportation and are able to, make a little extra money on leasing out their car, making sure both parties are properly insured. Any other questions, Representative?
I know we did discuss this somewhat, and I will be asking for a roll call vote. I will be supporting this concept so we can have the discussion, but I do believe that I have some members that aren't as sure about it, and so I do ask for a roll call vote. Thank you.
Certainly. Representative Delnicky.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Quick comment pertaining to item 38. My recollection was that was taken up in SB 261, Public Act 21-106, and I'm going to vote no, only from the standpoint that I want to see exactly what the differentiation is as to what occurred in the Public Act 21-106 and what is going to be occurring here.
We can certainly do that. Thank you, Representative Delnicky. Senator Lesser.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. And I will just say, one of my overriding interests in supporting the motion to hear this is that. Oops, I thought I was unmuted, but I was not. I just wanted to say thank you, Madam Chair, and one of my overriding interests in supporting moving this concept forward is that I think it's generally a good idea for the Insurance Committee to hear insurance bills, and this was an insurance bill that was passed by another committee. And so while I certainly been hearing from people with a variety of concerns about the specific underlying policy, and I think we'll have that conversation, we want to encourage our colleagues who serve on other committees to send insurance bills to the Insurance Committee, since we've got LCOs who really specialize in the specialized knowledge of insurance law. So I'm hoping that can happen and that this will be a convenient venue for any kind of such conversation going forward. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Alex, please take the roll.
For agenda item number 38, Senator Lesser,
Senator Lesser, aye.
Representative Wood,
Rep. Wood is a yes.
Senator Anwar,
Senator Anwar votes yes.
Representative Comey. Oh, I'm sorry, Senator Anwar, can you just say it one more time?
Sure. Senator Anwar votes yes.
Thank you. Representative Comey,
Representative Comey votes yes.
Senator Wong.
Senator Huang votes yes.
Great. Representative Pablo D'Amato,
Pablo D'Amato votes yes.
Senator Cabrera, Senator Maroney,
Senator Maroney votes yes.
Representative Dathan,
Representative Dayton votes yes.
Representative Delnicky,
Representative Delnicky votes no.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Representative Meskers,
Representative Meskers votes yes.
Representative Nuccio,
Representative Nuccio votes yes.
Representative Perillo.
Perillo votes yes.
One more time, Representative.
Perillo votes yes.
Thank you. Representative Paletta, Representative Riley,
Representative Riley votes yes.
Representative Rochelle.
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
One more time, Representative.
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, and I apologize for skipping over item number 29. Is there a motion to raise an act concerning medical debt on credit scores?
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Senator Lesser, seconded by Representative Rochelle. Discussion? Representative Pablo D'Amato.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Although I think the title might be self-explanatory, if you could just give me a brief description of this bill and how it relates to our committee. Thank you.
The intent of the bill is for people that have accrued medical debt to make sure that medical debt is not counted against their credit score. So it is a concept bill. I am not 100% certain about how it relates to our insurance committee, but it is, I think it kind of teeters on our committee of cognizance. So that's really all I have to say on that. Any other questions?
So I have done a couple bills relating to credit scores past. I know I did one as far as having people in public housing for payments that they've made, having that build up their credit score. Also mortgage payments made after a bankruptcy, having that. And first, number one, I was in banking, wasn't in insurance. And second of all, I know that we actually ended up not being able to raise the bill or move further on the bill because it is subject to federal law. So for that reason, I will not be supporting this bill. But I am a bankruptcy attorney, so I just want to let people know that this is something for me that I just, my clients are the best, and I really want to see them move forward and have a new lease on life. And bankruptcy is the way that they do that. And having somebody have to face this issue, especially with medical debt, is very difficult. And I am glad that we don't put people in jail or punish them for life for something that is most likely completely out of their control. So with that, though, I do ask for a roll call vote more for the technical reasons of the purview of the committee. Thank you.
Not a problem. Thank you. Representative David.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Just to follow on from the ranking member's comments, my understanding is a lot of medical debt comes outside of the insured space. And so would this concept also cover medical debt that isn't owed to insurance providers? Because, the constituents that I've heard from that, suffer great amounts of medical debt are typically uninsured. I know we're still in early concept phases, and I will vote yes today to take it to the new level, the next stage to get a public hearing, because I would like to explore this further, but I am just kind of curious how we're able to look at this.
I appreciate your comments, and I think we will learn more about this and in a public hearing and possibly where it would be referred. Representative Meskers.
Madam Chair, I think you took the words out of my mouth in terms of, because I was going to start with the question is it appropriate to refer before a hearing? To my mind, it's a banking and finance question. The debt typically, the unpaid debt typically goes to a collector. I'm not sure whether we're going through interstate commerce or whether we're going through straight into the state of purview of Connecticut, the oversight of our own Connecticut banking industry. So I'm concerned that we are overreaching because the concern is real. I mean, we're struggling with insurance, but I'm not sure it's the appropriate venue. So I'm conflicted as to whether we hold a hearing or not. I'm trying to weigh whether I vote in favor of this with the expectation it'll be referred to banking, because I think it's too complicated a question and it doesn't deal with our insurance companies per se. Okay.
Thank you for your comments. Representative Delnicki.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I agree with the statements made by my colleagues pertaining to this should be referred to banking if it's going to be dealt with at all. But I do recall the fact that we were unable to do anything about it pertaining to the fact that this was a federal issue, as I recall from the statements made by the ranking member. So I will be no on this. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative. Senator Lesser.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to say that I appreciate the comments of the members of the committee who've spoken up. We think the committee is aware of the limitations of our cognizance, potential cross cognizance with other committees, as well as federal legislation like the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. I think the intent of the committee is to stay well within our lane, although if the bill needs to be referred elsewhere after a committee, that's certainly a possibility. Again, this is simply an instruction to LCO to move forward on drafting legislation. I would also encourage members to review recent action by the federal government, particularly the VA. And I think it's our hope to be able to mirror on the state level some policies that apply to federally regulated and federally established institutions on the state level to the extent possible within the cognizance of the Insurance Committee. And I think as members spoke to earlier, there certainly are areas that are well within the cognizance, applying to insurance companies, but also speaking more largely to the the payer-payee landscape in Connecticut. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. Any other discussion? Clerk, please take the roll.
For agenda item number 29, Senator Lesser,
Senator Lesser, yes.
Representative Wood,
Representative Wood is a yes.
Senator Anwar,
Senator Anwar votes yes.
Representative Comey,
Representative Comey votes yes.
Senator Wong,
Senator Huang votes yes.
Representative Pavlak D'Amato,
Pavlak D'Amato votes no.
Senator Cabrera, Senator Maroney,
Senator Maroney votes yes.
Representative Dathan,
Representative Dathan votes yes.
Representative Delnicki,
Representative Delnicki votes no.
Representative Farrar,
Representative Farrar votes yes.
Representative Meskers,
Representative Meskers votes no.
Representative Nuccio,
Representative Nuccio votes no.
Representative Perillo,
Perillo votes yes.
Representative Paletta, Representative Riley,
Representative Riley votes yes.
Representative Rochelle.
Representative Rochelle votes yes.
Thank you.
Great. Next, we'll move on to item number 4 on the agenda, which is the announcement of the next date and time of next meeting. We have March 1st, 2022 at 10 a.m. for our first public hearing. Senator Left.
Yes, Madam Chair, I appreciate that. I just, if I might, could we just confer with the clerk to make sure that we hit all the items on the agenda? I believe we did, but if there's just a way to find out if we skipped over anything, I don't think we did, but.
Senator, from my count, I believe we hit everything on the agenda.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Great. And for the members that are not here, votes will be held open until 3 p.m. And so the meeting will just be recessed and not adjourned until 3 p.m. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Alex, I just want to confirm I did not miss any vote, did I?
We had one roll call vote. Oh, we had a couple of roll call votes. One moment, please.
And if you would mind, while you're checking for Dr. Anwar, Dr. Senator Anwar, if you could check for me too, please, Alex.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
James, I owe you a phone call, so I have to talk to you about that issue. So I will bug you about that later today.
Okay, sounds good. How late did you go last night?
Till 9. But it
Oh,
was
okay.
11 and a half hours of public hearing. So
It's an emotional bill too.
yeah,
Right.
yes.
Hey, Senator Anwar, we have an act concerning reimbursement for certain covered health benefits.
I vote yes. Senator Anwar votes yes.
Thank you. Senator Maroney,
Yes. Senator Maroney votes yes.
then Senator Maroney, I have an act promoting competition and contrast between health carriers and healthcare providers.
Senator Maroney votes yes.
Senator Anwar, I have you for all those other bills. You're all set. And the same for you, Senator Maroney.
Okay, what about the, do we vote on the consent calendar or?
That was a voice vote.
It was. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Alex. Have a nice day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye.
Alex, thanks.
Yeah, no problem. So first I have an act concerning reimbursement for certain covered health benefits.
Yes.
And next is an act promoting competition and contrast between health carriers and healthcare providers.
Yes.
Great. You're all set. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Representative.
Hello, how are you?
So first on our list is an act promoting competition and contrast between health carriers and healthcare providers.
Yes. Alex, do you have to go through all of them, or can I just vote yes on all
If you would like to vote yes on all of our roll call votes, then I can mark that.
of
I
them? Were
believe.
they all roll call, or was it, I think the only one that I was gonna vote no on was number 29.
An act concerning medical credit card debt on credit scores. Okay, that one's a no. I
Yep,
have
the
two
rest-
others.
Yep, go ahead.
An act concerning reimbursement for certain covered health benefits.
Sure, yes.
And lastly, an act concerning peer-to-peer car sharing program.
Yes.
Great, you're all set.
Okay, thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Hey, Senator?
Can you hear me?
Yes. Let's see, I have 4 roll call votes for you. I have a pen.
Hang on a second, I'm having trouble hearing you.
So I have an act
Can you hear me?
concerning. Yes. Can you hear me? Are you able to hear me?
Hang on 1 second, I'm having trouble hearing you. Oops. One second.
Sure. I can't hear you. Can you hear me now?
Zach, can you hear me?
Yes.
But I can't hear you, I don't think.
No?
Uh, all right. Okay, Zach, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, boy. All right, hang on 1 second, sorry. I can hear you. You can hear me, right?
Yes, I could hear you.
But I can't hear you.
I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Hang on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
But I can't hear you. That's strange.
Hi, I don't know what's going on. Senator, can you hear me?
All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Senator. Can you hear me?
Don't know why this is not working.
I'm gonna switch computers real quick.
I can see you. I can hear you. I cannot hear you, I should say. Okay, how about now? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, good. Perfect.
Awesome.
That
I'm
works
not gonna,
out.
I don't know what happened. All right. What I missed.
So we have four roll call votes. The first is an act concerning peer-to-peer car sharing program.
Senator Cabrera votes yes.
Then we have an act concerning reimbursement for certain covered health benefits.
Yeah, Senator Cabrera votes yes.
Then an act concerning
These are-
medical debt. Sorry.
These are
an act
concepts,
concerning
right?
medical debt on credit scores.
Senator Cabrera votes yes.
And lastly, an act promoting competition and contracts between health carriers and healthcare providers.
Senator Cabrera votes yes.
All right, you're all set. The rest were all voice votes. All
Awesome.
right, thanks so much. Have a good day.
Thank you. All right, take care.